People of color. You hear people saying that POC, people of color, people of color. We've got a woman named Claudia Hennis, and I'm going to ask the engineer to pull her up in just a moment. But before I get to her, they're now talking everywhere you hear now with all this police shooting and all this, if you will, this racism on television by CNN, MSNBC. Well, black, and then they say black, and now they're saying black and brown people, and they're now saying people of color. Can I pull your coat to something? I don't know if you want to listen to this or not, but I cannot pull your coat to this. They're saying the police are against black and brown people. Racism against black and brown people of color, they're saying, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Well, there are two things. One is, that reminds me of the colored water fountain, because you're calling us colored again, right? But I have to tell you, unless I have been hanging out with Rip Van Winkle over the last 20 years, I don't see Latino boys getting shot down in the street by the police. Now that boy, Dante Wright, he was a white boy. His mama was white. But, you know, because daddy's black, well, they all run around there saying that. But, you know, when they get on the television, the Eddie Glauds and the Cornel West and the Van Jones and the Michael Eric Dyson and all that crowd, the Ben Crump and, you know, and all of them get on television now, shop and talk about black and brown people. Only people I see getting shot by the police are black people. I don't see Latinos getting shot. When last time you heard of a Latino getting shot? Come on now. One of them boys with a Gonzalez or Garcia or Rodriguez name. Oh, police ain't shooting them. You know why? Because Latinos got their daddies in the house. There's these black people out there that's creating all this trouble. But they're trying to lump everybody together as if the police are shooting black and brown people. That's a lie. Anyway, they're not shooting down Japheth people either, right? But let's go to this business of now they're using this term and think they're so smart on television when they got all these black people on television talking to CNN, talking to Anderson Cooper and Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon and talking to all them people over yonder on MSNBC. People of color, you know, color of people, some of that, POC, yeah. This woman, she's Latino, said, listen, don't be, Mr. Engineer, you got the clip, roll that clip.
Yes. So I personally have never heard a single Hispanic person that I know, or Mexicana, Latina, that has ever been offended for being called a part of the Hispanic community, Hispanic population. By all means, keep using that to describe our community. It's never been an issue for me and anybody that I know. Personally, for me, I absolutely hate it when somebody describes me as a POC. Hey, you're a POC. And usually I get it from white women, which is really interesting because to me, a POC is absolutely no different than calling me a colored person. You're just doing a little word swap there, but it's disrespectful to me. Now, I know a lot of people accept it, but to me, please don't call me that. POC, no gracias. Soy Latina, soy Mexicana, soy Hispana. Finito. Gracias.
And they're doing it. They've launched it. They're calling people colored people. The same colored water fountain I tried to run away from down there in North Carolina. They're back calling people colored people again. And they said people of color. Well, it's the same thing. They just put the P in front of the C rather than C in front of the P. I swear I ain't never seen nothing like these black people. I ain't never seen nobody crazy. I ain't never seen nobody crazy in there. They ran away, marched with Dr. King, tore down the colored water fountain, tore down the colored bathroom, tore down the colored sink, the place in the restaurants, and died, they said, to get rid of being called colored people. Now they're back on television on steroids saying the same thing all over again. With POC, which is people of color, it's the same thing as saying colored people. I swear. Have you ever seen anybody as ignorant as black people? Come on, talk to me. I'll wait. I mean, it don't make no. And then the other thing is this. The police are shooting down our brown and black people. I ain't seen no Latino people being shot down. By the way, she's right. They're Hispanic, Mexicano, or Latino, right? And nobody gets upset. That's the proper name for them. But I ain't seen no Hispanic boys being shot down. Have you? Show me. They just shooting down y'all black. They just shooting down y'all racist, worshiping black men. That's who they shooting. They're not shooting Latinos. I clear. It is beyond frustrating. You figure out anybody, Harry Potter's mother could not write a book describing the bizarre, the ignorance. And by the way, I'm not talking about black homeless people or black men in jail or black men that work at McDonald's for $3 an hour. I'm talking about people with PhDs from Harvard. I'm talking about people with MDs from Yale and Princeton. They all think the exact same. They all have a sausage brain, and they can't think their way logically out of a wet paper bag. Now they're allowing white people to call them colored people all over again by saying people of color. I swear, you can't make this up. I got to ask Sabbath about this. I swear. What you think about? You can't. Have you ever seen anything like it? Now it's people of color. And they're shooting down black and brown people. No, they're not. Now, Andrew Brown was shot down there in Elizabeth City, but his last name was Brown. Latinos are not being shot. Why? Because they have strong family structures. They understand discipline. And when the police tell them to stop, they stop. I can want to share this, and then I'm promised not to inflict myself upon you any further. But to you Hamite brothers, you black boys, right? Black men, black people, right? Don't make the police the judge and the jury and the executioner in the street. Don't do it. You got the power. They're talking about, hey, they executed Andrew Brown. I don't know. I haven't seen the tape. I don't know. But you got the power. I believe that George Floyd could have avoided what happened to him. I believe that he could have. First of all, he should have, after he passed that $20 bill, he should have driven away right away. But don't give the police the opportunity to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner, because they got them guns, man. Don't, surrender, get in the car, and tell the police, put the handcuffs on me quick. Well, how soon before we get to the precinct? And do y'all serve bologna sandwiches for lunch? Here, you say, Pastor Manny, it ain't like that. And here's the argument, right? The argument is, well, you might be nervous, you're scared, you're scared you're driving while black police are going to shoot you. And so you run. Well, then we need to have training in home to stop that from taking place. That we need to be able to do that. And we can. We absolutely can do that. This boy, Adam Toledo, out there in Chicago, right? I've not heard one person, not with all these killings, going all the way back to Trayvon Martin, I've not heard one person say that Trayvon Martin should have went home rather than attacking George Zimmerman. I've not heard one person say that a 13-year-old should not have been out in the street at 2 o'clock in the morning with a gun in his hand. Listen, if the police hadn't shot him, some of them Chicago black boys going to shoot him. He'd be dead anyway. He's going to die out there in the street anyway. If he'd been shot by somebody, one of these gangsters, these black gangsters out there in Chicago, you wouldn't have heard a damn thing about it. But a 13-year-old with a gun in his hand going to get shot by somebody. It just happened to be the police that night. I've not heard one person of all the newscasts. I've not heard, not even on Fox News, not one person said, well, the boy should have been at home and his parents need to be brought to task. But letting a 13-year-old be in the street at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, with a gun in his hand. Somebody needs to say that. So don't make them the judge and jury. That boy made that police the judge, the jury, and the executioner. There used to be in places like New York a man called the Iceman, right? He come around here with a wagon selling ice, big old blocks of ice. You buy a block of ice, and you take it upstairs, put it in a pan, chip it off, and make some lemonade. Makes things cool, right? But then somebody invented the refrigerator. Put the Iceman out of business. The refrigerator eliminated the Iceman. And truth will eliminate the police shootings. Not police reform. Not blaming the police, but the truth about black people. The truth about them will eliminate these police shootings. And until that happens, they're going to shoot somebody black today and tomorrow and tonight and next day either. You're going to shoot 5 of them on Sunday and 7 on Saturday night. Until we start telling the truth, we will not be able to eliminate the Iceman. You cannot reform the police department if you still got black families, black men, black boys running amok in the street. What they gonna do? What they gonna do? Call their supervisor? Should I take this shot or not? You've been watching too much television. They should have shot him in the leg. You've definitely been watching too much Gunsmoke. The other thing is that, the villain has become the victim. But thank you, Claudia, for putting you can't make this up. They're now allowing themselves to be called colored people after 60 years of marching. Anderson Cooper, Don Lemon, and MSNBC crowd can call you colored people again. A bunch of white women can call black people colored people again, and they all celebrate it. I swear, I wonder if I'm dreaming or dead. At any rate, everybody, listen to the Manning Report. I'm James David Manning. I'm the Lord's servant. This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.